All right. So my emotional response is how you're able to say no when people unload their trauma on you. First things first, your trauma should not justify your bad behavior to others. People use unprocessed heartache, loss, abuse, pain, and defeat to subject others to subpar behavior. What I grew up with Francesca and Paula are examples of that. Jean-Pierre took it as a means to say that I had to be the man of the house. And in a way, he took that with him so far that he now gives an impression of, well, why wasn't Marcello given that license? Why wasn't Marcello told to do things? But that's his trauma with Francesca and Paula, not me. That's what trauma does when you don't understand or justify not only the bad behavior you're doing, but the bad behavior other people do. And now you're subjecting someone else that is around it to be the one inflicted with pain because you don't want to go through processing what actually happened to you with the behavior you were treated with from Francesca and Paula. And that's the situation with Jean-Pierre right there. He didn't want to process the information of being told he's man of the house, but in reality, just like myself, being told that I could leave when I'm 18, he had the same agency to do that. But he didn't. But because I'm the younger sibling, there's a treatment of, you should have known better. Oh, why weren't you told to do things? Well, I was. The difference is I didn't talk about it the same way you did. And most of those things that I did do were after Jean-Pierre had left. And that's where a lot of trauma is now used as weaponry, as pain impressions and imprints on others. And this is where me being open emotionally comes in. Just because people don't verbalize their emotions immediately doesn't mean you should disrespect them. So just because Jean-Pierre actually opened up about him not wanting to be man of the house doesn't mean he is processing it and is working on it to understand where it came from and why it was there. And at the same time, just because I didn't keep on reinforcing my views and emotions and came up with what I needed to even later on in times, situation with Jean-Pierre where he told me, oh, don't tell my girlfriend, but I've had sex before, I had relationships before, and the thing is, you can't keep secrets, you can't unload secrets and pain to people and assume they can bear it or handle it. And at the same time, if the secret I have to keep for you contributes to the destruction of my relationship with that someone else, as you called her, Jean-Pierre, you cannot force me to keep the secret. If you've already unloaded everything, then whatever trauma you've revealed, I have my own reaction to, and it'll come out in its own way. You can't control that now. That's the big part of what verbalizing my emotional state now is. The verbalization of myself now shows the disrespect of it from before because of the trauma that my family did not process. What Jean-Pierre didn't process, what Paula didn't process, what Francesca is being a slave owner with. So this subpar behavior that's happening is a continuous thing because it's a slippery slope of not processing your trauma and your pain and your heartache and your loss and abuse and defeat. I left. And I think the trauma of those people kept a version of me alive for so long that wasn't completely who I am at all. I'm not a person who keeps secrets and pain from people. because I don't want to grow myself tired of anybody. I want anybody to know who I'm tired of, that I'm tired of them. My actions this past year has proven that. And I think when you use trauma as a means to project what you didn't have, you're only hurting the people that you think had it. I didn't have it. That's why I'm talking like this. I didn't have what you think your trauma made you not have. I've had my own trauma. And you unload secrets on me, you can't control my reaction, because that means you're trying to do exactly what Francesca and Paula did. And in this situation with Scotty, for example, he's controlling how he feels about Jean-Pierre and Oscar and Diana by keeping what he thinks about them from them. So he is using what the grandparents have done to us to be abusive with their truth. Well, we know their truth at least. When you keep it from somebody, secrets also are patronizing. So my emotional response today is to all this, there's ways to say things without having to be hurtful. And if you don't say things at all, that is hurtful too. I think that's why trauma is very much in key to something you have to be processing constantly. And what I feel unloaded on me, I'm going to respond to. Bye-bye.